Hey there, happy Sunday. It's me, Victor, here doing a weekly recap for the YouTube channel. Overall, this past week was great overall. Really focused on the setups which I'm trying to develop in my trading system. And overall, I'm just going to go over the trades which I took and overall the game plan for going forward and some of the stocks I'm watching for this upcoming week, alright? But overall, as I mentioned last week, I was working on really locking in profits and understanding to take the meat of the move within trading. So most of the stocks which I'm about to show you are really myself. What I'm trying to master is the, I guess, quote unquote, open range highs, on these leading stocks and flags. It's more than one, but really the main one I'm trying to show you and trying to master is the one like you see in front of you, VERI, opening range highs. That's really what the goal was here, and that's the plan. And this past week was a 100% great. Overall, I left a lot on the table. As I mentioned, 4 trades this week. The latest one was VERI. Again, you learn the most through your losses. Yeah, I lost 97 bucks, lost 87. And those losses are fine, okay? Because that's like maybe like 2% of, that's like 3% of my account, 4% of my account. And you have to be fine with losing. And that's really the key topic I want to talk about here. Is I've gotten to the point in my trading where, and that's the thing, I've only been trading this year, obviously, last month, February, was I first really only traded last week, and this is really my first full month trading. And I've gotten to the point where, again, I've been in this business since 19, I would say 20. I don't really care about the money. Like, a loss is a loss. It's fine. If I lose, it's fine for me to lose within my trading sample size, and I'll know in the end that I'm going to come out a net winner if I keep doing the system, okay? And that's why you have to develop your own guidelines. Because I see many people online just take losses that are just crazy, And again, in this business, your goal is to really stay in the game. It's longevity. You don't want to really go for home runs. You want an edge. You want consistency. You want long-term success rather than short-term success, okay? And you have to be willing to lose whatever dollar amount you're fine with. And again, that all really goes into how large your account size is. I don't know who you are, but I really always never say don't risk more than 3% or even 4% of your account size in any given stock. Don't do it. It's just not worth it. And losing $97, I mean, that's this past Friday. Again, if I was on the right track, VRI. I'll go with this one first, I suppose. Opening range highs, as I mentioned before, it shook me out. And this is really the key thing I'm looking forward towards this upcoming week and beyond, is to have low of day as my stop. And in VERI, I did not, because I wanted a larger size. And that's not the way to go, okay? Opening range high, I bought it as it broke this range here. As you can see on the daily chart, as I mentioned here, opening range highs, earnings winner, and look at the volume, look how it's sideways. This is a 5-star setup. And yeah, I bought it here and I got afraid because it was pulling back. And that's the thing with this strategy. You have to let it work, let the stock do its thing. You're going to get stopped out, you're going to get stopped out. That's a part of trading. Move on. And I sold panically I sold because I was afraid. I don't know why. When in hindsight, my risk was low of day. 273, I sold right in the 280s. And of course it did what it did. Had a massive run. And that's fine. I lost $92 on this stock. And it taught me a valuable lesson. Use the strategy which I am learning, okay? The strategy which I'm trying to master. The rules say it clear, okay? Low of day, stop is always low of entry day. Always. Always, 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 always. Okay? And I learned this on this one stock. And sometimes all it takes is 1 or 2 losses to really make it stick, And VERI, from here on out, my risk is going to be low of day, whether I get on these opening range high breaks. And again, you don't want to buy a stock just randomly. You want a reason to. You want to have a catalyst, okay? And I knew this pattern quite well. It's been working. As I mentioned on a lot of recent runners, like AISP, it was a different type of setup, a flag. But like Son, how this one from the past I talked about last couple of weeks ago, and it's doing this little thing again, with AI. But yeah, that's fine, no big deal. BRI was a great. It is what it is. On to the next. The other loss which I took during the week was on RGLS. Again, same type of scenario. I'm going for the open range high break. Now this one really, I'm not proud of, because number one, it's the first green day. Yeah, so that's a good thing. Had a catalyst and all that. But it's so random. And again, that's one thing I'm focusing on here. When I bought it, I was breaking out of these ranges here. And yeah, if I would have, again, low of day was my stop here. And there's no way in hell I would have held all the way down to $2. That would have been a loss. Because you don't know it's going to come back and do this dip and repeat. You don't know that. But it's just, I'm working on filtering out the good ones and the bad ones. And most of the time, the growth stocks, the ones with earnings, the one with the theme plays, work better, rather than just random moves like this one, because it's just so random, okay? And I'm not saying the play is done. I have this here for alerts, because who knows down the road whatever can happen. But we'll see. I don't know. That one was a loss of $87 on that one. Again, opening range highs, loss. I mean, yeah, that was not ideal. But this past, when was it? On Wednesday was really what made the week. Galaxy, theme play, AI, opening range highs, saw the news pre-market. Again, I really look left. It's been a former runner, and I saw this going pre-market, and I simply got long right as it was breaking out. I mean, I got long pretty soon out of the open. 1129 was my average, and I sold. Again, this is my problem last week with RVSN. As I talked about with RVSN last week, if I would have just took that, that would have made my month. But I came off a small gain. But let's say if I would have locked it in, same play, opening range highs, AI theme. If I would have locked it in, it would have made my month. And I sold, because again, I'm finding out the key things here. You have those that are going to run within an intraday, and those have daily momentum. And these with RVSN and Galaxy, they're so micro float. The float's so thin that any move likely is going to have a major pullback. And I have to understand sometimes to lock in some gains and to have some to break even. And that's one of the things I'm looking towards in the future is, again, low of day as you stop and locking in some on day one if it does go parabolic, and letting the rest ride and to break even. That's a strategy here. It's a part of the swing method. So you're going to have big intraday swings. But it's all about tinkering and testing. Okay? And on Galaxy, I sold into strength. I sold into strength. Because whenever the market hands you something, you gotta take it. And that's what I did. Sold very beautifully. Again, the rest of the shares I was gonna aim to hold to break even, but I just sold it at $12.59. I mean, my best sell was at the very top at $16. I mean, that's crazy, because I did not expect this to go that high that fast. But again, these micro floats can go. but by far a great trade. You know, $530, great trade on that one. And ISPI flag pattern was on the nice track, beautifully. Now this is what I'm talking about. This one I should still be in, because this is an unlikely gap next week. Likely gonna go parabolic next week, very likely. And I saw this right here as it was breaking these ranges. That is when I saw it, and that's why I got long at 834. Right, when was it, Victor? It was right here in this day here. Yeah, this gap up here. As it breaks this range, see, this is the range here. You have this tightness right there, and you want to buy it the next leg higher, and that's what I did. Let's go over here so you can see it better. And I got long right here as it broke up. Ideally, you want to buy it as it's breaking that range, you know, right here. But I was letting it prove to myself, and it did. And I got long right as it broke this level here. Kind of chased it in a way. But again, my stop was really this point here. It wasn't low of day, because that was really the reason why I got long this. Because number one, it was not higher. The move was not higher than the average true range. Therefore, I got long. You never want to buy a stock really if it's above the average true range. If it is, you want to get on a dip. That's one thing I'm learning as well. But I got long this, and again, sold some into the spike. And again, I should have let the rest swing. But again, I'm working on it. I'm afraid of. It's hard. I'm learning the setup. I am. I'm winning it. It's sometimes it's hard seeing your P&L, and that's why with me, I don't look at my P&L when I trade. I'm trying not to. It's not good to. You're seeing your P&L fluctuate because I sold some here, right? And the rest I should have held to break even, because there was no reason for this to come back down. You know, no reason. And yes, the next day it did its thing. You know, who knows? Who knows if I would have held this next day? I don't know. But I don't know. That was a good trade though. I saw it. I recognized it. Flag, opening range high break, sold some here. And who knows? On to the next, you know. But yeah, likely this is going to gap up next week. Over $11. If not, more sideways the better on that one. But that's really it for this week, guys. I mean, nothing too complex. Again, you want to keep your trading very simple. I know most of us want the big gains. Most of us want the success right away. But again, it takes time, you know. And for this upcoming week, there's some plays I'm looking forward to. Like, for instance, like Root is really the basic premise of what I'm trying to understand for y'all out there. This is it. Big move, sideways, break. 5-star setup. 5-star, okay? Same as VERI. 5-star setup, opening range highs. One I'm looking forward to next week, I already mentioned ASPI. LXRX is setting up very nicely. Recent runner, it's a big mover, so ideally over this range, 280s, it's going to be a potential buy. Reported positive earnings, plus I believe they have good growth, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, not really. But positive earnings, we'll see. It's a little pattern here forming setup. But other than that, AXTI, I mentioned last week, is still surfing the moving averages. We'll see here over the high day break here, 540 or 520s. It's going to be a potential play here. But we'll see, you know, just let the play form and understand that most of trading is waiting. You know, you don't have to trade every day. Get that out of your head, okay? OSHA is another one I'm really watching here. Big pass mover. Again, talked about a couple weeks ago, high day break, opening range highs, and it's surfing these moving averages here. You know, if a base is over 4, ideally over 450-ish, 475, it's going to be a potential play for, who knows, a potential rebound. But we'll see what happens here. It's on the back list. HIMS, again, earnings winner, surfing moving averages, ideally opening range highs over 1550s. With volume, of course. Again, whenever stocks consolidate, you want lower volume. It's good. Whenever stocks consolidate, you want lower volume, because whenever the volume comes in, it's going to push it up like air. Okay, so that's that one. Jumia, another one. Recent earnings winner. Again, I got long this, and I got shaken out. But it's fine. It's all about tinkering. But look how sideways this is going. Very nice tightness surfing the moving averages here. Over 730, that's going to be a buy signal. It's forming a nice little range here on that one, but that's that one. Go to, same type of deal, range break, recent runner, forming earnings, growth stock, over $8, potential buy signal, but more sideways and better on that one. But that's really all I'm watching for next week. There's some other ones, like Gurn this past Friday had a massive run. I think it's going to go over 350s this week. That's just my opinion. Because look at this, guys. I mean, look left. I mean, the volume was insane. Nearly 111 million volume. And I don't know. I feel like this is going to go. I may be wrong. Again, it's not advice. It's just my 2 cents here. That's one to watch. CDOX is an earnings gapper. Ideally, more continuation. If not, pullback and opening range high breaks whenever that does happen down the week. GTIA is the AI theme play. Is it an AI theme? I think it is. No, it's not. It's some random micro float stock. But this is just on a back radar here. It's just, again, there is a difference between this stock, GTIA, and let's say, like I talked about, Jumia. This is a setup here. There's a reason for this to go up. Whereas on GTIA, it's just random. And I'm watching it for a certain reason, though, because I have a lot of... You want to have multiple strategies, yeah, but you want to focus on one. And I'm trying to focus on the opening range high breaks, on these growth stocks, on the theme plays, But this is just, if it does base, if it bases down the week, just watch out for that potential liquidity trap, to have a monster ramp. Ideally over this, if it gets over 120s, watch it. I'm just saying that, in my opinion. But the one I want to talk about before I go is Gaffy. This is an AI stock, AI theme play. This is forming really well on this, and it has ran in the past, as you can see here. It has a partnership from AI, so it has a recent history of running, and this is forming really good. So I don't know. I'm just gonna watch over 430s. It's gonna be a potential long, I would say. But I'm gonna watch it on that one. But yeah, it's really all. And for this upcoming week, I'm not really gonna be I'm not gonna be forcing trades. I used to. I don't know. I mean, this month has been the best month of my trading career, to say. But there's no need to force anything. Just let the setups come to you and get the randomness out of your trading. Okay, that's really what I want to focus on going forward. Is when I come back next week, tell myself, okay, even if I lose all trades next week, it's fine as long as they're within my trading guidelines. That's fine. I would rather lose knowing that I'm doing something within my trading system than just to lose randomly on a random stock. Okay, and if that's you out there, just focus on why. Why are you losing? Why are you winning? And I think the worst thing to do is make money and not know why you made the money. That's the worst thing to do. It's just pure luck. Again, I'm not going for luck. I'm looking for an edge. I'm looking for long-term success in this business. And doing that takes time. This is week 295 it's going to be, I believe, of me doing this and just studying charts. And you want to build a database, I have all this from when I first started, and it's great to see how far you've come. But it's an endless circle. It's an endless journey, to say. But yeah, first 2 weeks are in the books. Closing in on $1,000 for the month. But again, we'll see what happens for the next 2 weeks. Just don't force anything. Just let the trades come to me, and the rest will fall into place. But other than that, if you have any questions, any comments, leave them below. And other than that, I'll see you next week.